Hello everybody, I'm Stephanie Venturino. I'm a third-year PhD student at the Eastman School of Music, and today I'm going to actually share the student experience. So we've heard from some great faculty and their process in going through creating online courses, but now we kind of want to talk about what it's like to be a student in one of these online courses. So I have taken 3 online courses through the Warner School. The first one was EDE 484, which is online teaching and learning with Lisa. Then Eric's EDE 486, which is designing online courses. And then EDF 488, which is the practicum in online teaching. And I'll be continuing taking more of these courses in the spring as part of the certificate program here in online teaching at the Warner School. So a little bit about these courses as far as, was it isolating for me? I was a bit skeptical coming into an online course. You hear sort of these doom and gloom stories about online teaching, and you just will never interact with anyone, and you'll just go through it. It's kind of a lone wolf, and I had the absolute opposite experience. I would say that the amount of interaction I experienced in any of these classes was more than I actually did in a traditional course. And so in EDE 484, for example, we had a ton of peer-to-peer interaction. I was always talking with students on discussion boards or on VoiceThread. I'd be able to see their faces giving me video messages or comments, recording presentations, and I'd also be talking to them through for example, Yellow Dig. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it's kind of like a Facebook discussion group. And I would get so addicted that I'd go out like several times a day and see, ooh, who posted on Yellow Dig? It was just so, Molly can probably attest to it. It was very addicting, yeah. So just this idea of having the immersive environment where I was always talking with all of my classmates, and the conversation was continuing beyond that traditional block of 1 hour, 1.5 hours in the classroom, was really an exciting educational experience for me, and something I really hadn't encountered before in traditional education. In EDE 486, that deepened to really have strong faculty interaction. There was one module in particular, Module 5 in that course, where Eric and I met for 3 times for 30 minutes over that course of that module, and really having him go through my online course that I had designed and really nitpick and all the T's and the I's the previous professor was talking about, going through and giving me very specialized, individualized feedback was something I found so invaluable and helpful as a future online educator. And having the depth of that experience to be able to have that interaction with him in an online setting was completely invaluable. We still had all of the peer-to-peer interaction, but to have both of those, I think, made it a wonderful experience. So not isolating at all. As far as easier, I would say that no, these courses are not easier than traditional courses. I would say the workload is about the same. The thing I'd like to talk about, though, is that I think the content and the work I did for all of these courses was much more engaging and much more memorable, because there was this interaction with other students. We're also engaging with the content through a variety of online tools that I actually, for instance, wanted to learn the material. I was hungry for more information, but I also, several months later, remember all of the concrete things that we talked about in these courses. So I think it deepened my learning and cognitive presence. So yes, I did learn in this way. And as I said at the beginning, I was skeptical at first. I was wondering, I wonder if I'm going to come away really learning something from these online courses. Is this really going to be effective for me as a learner? And I think yes. There are 4 reasons why I think this was a very helpful experience and something I want to continue in as a student, but also as an educator. The first reason, as I alluded to, was the student interaction, really having that immersive experience where I can continue the educational conversation with my peers and with faculty members beyond just that block of time where I'm meeting with them. That really deepens the experience. Another thing is the flexibility with my busy schedule. As a student at Eastman, I have a lot of teaching responsibilities, and I'm on another campus. So it's very difficult to come to the U of R to take advantage of the resources here. And that's something I really wanted to do, but was somewhat inhibited by during my time. So the ability to say, I can take an online course. There's going to be a synchronous session on Wednesday nights. I happen to be free then. It wasn't coming in the middle of the day to another campus. And that was something that was very, very attractive to me as a student. The third thing was the increased autonomy. I felt that I had a lot more charge of what I was doing within the course. There were more individualized projects. I could actually work on things that were directed towards me in my particular area of research. Although no one else was a music scholar within the particular class, I could make things really my own, and I felt that was a particular attribute of the course that was helpful to me. Also more autonomy in when I did my homework, when I did the discussion boards, when I interacted with students. That was very helpful. And then finally, the different online tools really deepened my understanding. Being able to not just, in a traditional course, you have your readings, maybe you have a little lecture from the teacher, you have a little discussion-based activity, and then off you go. You don't really think about the content really that deeply throughout the week. Having the ability to not only have the traditional readings, have some maybe recorded lectures on Panopto, but also have videos, multimedia, be perusing websites, having all these different methods for learning the content really deepened my experience as an online learner. So that's just a little glimpse into my experience as an online student, and I hope you really consider this for your classes. I found as a student it was incredibly engaging and effective and something that could really be of benefit to the larger University of Rochester community. So thanks so much.